Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I thought I'd come on and give you a weight update. So we're on to week 125 and today's Tuesday the 4th of July 2017. So as you all know from my food diary that today is weigh day. So I went to group. I didn't stay to group, I just literally went and got weighed at the 7:30 group, and I'll just get straight into what happened. So as you can see here, I gained 2 pounds. So I'm now 13 stone 9 pounds. So yeah, I'm a bit gutted, to be honest. I was hoping not to gain or even maintain. I feel like I've kind of been like really on plan this week as well. I don't feel like I've had any bad days. Today was a bad day, but I'll get to that in a minute. But I feel like I've done really well. I've cooked a few good meals. I've enjoyed the food I've had. I've had like speed food. You know, I feel it was kind of okay, and I wasn't kind of expecting this 2 pound gain. I did weigh myself in the morning and I knew that I have gained a pound, but I was hoping that maybe by the end of the day it might have gone down, because that has happened. I have had a few days where I have weighed more in the morning than I've weighed in the evening, which is really unusual. I don't really expect that to happen. Why that happens, I don't know, but I have had a few days like that. So yeah, gutting really, but you know, I'm going to have ups and downs. I think maybe one of the reasons was I'm at the end of my pill pack. I've started a new one. So usually like the week that I'm about to finish the pack and the week after starting the first new pack that week, both those weeks I normally like stay the same or gain. I don't normally lose. So last week I was surprised to lose 1.5 pounds. So I don't know really, I just don't understand my weight. It just goes up and down, literally. And I haven't really lost anything for ages. I mean, I know I'm losing I've been losing on and off each week, but then it comes back on again, I just put it on. So it's a little gutting really, but there we go. So what I have, so I've lost 12.5 pounds in total with Slimming World, and in total before I joined Slimming World, so all that I've lost 2 stone and 7 pounds. So it's still really good achievement. You know, I can't be unhappy with that. The fact that I've managed to keep it off for like so many years, you know, I've got to be happy. So I am. So yeah, but I'm still gutted. You know, so about today, so everything was going fine. My sim wise, I've sort of been up and down kind of all week, as you've all seen from my food diary. So once it got to today I only had 6.5 sims remaining from the 105 total, and I kind of had a bad day. But I don't think that's why I put on. I honestly don't think that has anything to do with it, because this morning I was weighing about 1.5 pounds heavier. I think it's about 1.25 pounds, but I think on their scales it was either going to be 1 pound or 1.5 pounds. So regardless of that, I had gained this morning, so I kind of hoped it would go, but it didn't. But like I said, so I took in obviously some of my bits and pieces that I took in. I had my popcorn, caramel Freddo, some rice, and obviously I had the apricot jam for one sim. And of course what happened was that someone's birthday was in the office, and they brought in like these little mini donuts, and they brought in some lemon cake because they knew I like lemon cake. They brought lemon cake in, so it's really sweet of them. So my plan was actually not to have any of it, but I then thought, well, she's made the effort to bring it in. I felt a little bit bad, and I did really kind of fancy it. So what I was going to do, I was going to have that and not have anything else, but instead I had all of it. But I will say it, I mean, even though I didn't have all of it, what happened was I had I had a raspberry iced mini donut. I had 2 of those, and I had a chocolate iced mini donut, and I had 1 of those, and my partner had 1 of each, and I had well, he had more than 1 of each, he had a few actually, but I had a little bite out of each of them because I didn't want to have a whole one, because I thought, oh my god, that would be really bad. So I had that, and then I shared half of the lemon slice with him as well, so I only had half the amount, which I've counted as 3 seams. But I mean, in total, to be perfectly honest, I've only gone over 21 seams, and I'm gonna make sure whatever my dinner is, it's gonna be seam free, because you know, thing is though, you know, I've got to be realistic. Okay, I've gained 2 pounds. So what, I've gained 2 pounds? That shouldn't stop me. I'm not going to then go and have a complete off-plan dinner and, you know, ruin what I have done this week, because I reckon that possibly next week it might show a loss. You know, I don't want to do that, because it'll make me feel even more rubbish than I already feel. I already feel rubbish I've gained, let alone eat a whole load of rubbish, a whole load of crap, you know, high sim food. Think, oh, what have I done? You know, why have I done this? You know, so, you know, realistically, you know, I ate some things that maybe I shouldn't have done, but I don't actually think that's what made me gain at all. I don't think it is. I think it might just be my body, and it could be a little bit of catch up from last week, because sim wise last week I felt I didn't really do that well. I really kind of struggled to stay within 15 sims a day, and as a result of that I went over, as you all know. I said in my video I went over, in all my food diaries I was absolutely clear saying that I was, you know, I'd used my sims up. So, you know, I was honest, and I think honesty is probably the best policy in this, because if you're not honest, you're only lying to yourself. I mean, I know you all watch me, but you know, there's no point me lying to you anyway, because at the end of the day, it's not you who's going to affect your weight loss, it's me. So I have to be honest and say, well, I ate this, and I have to be accountable for the fact I ate it, and therefore I ate it, and that means that I may not lose, or I might gain. So, but this week it wasn't kind of the case. I was expecting to lose, but this also kind of proves to me as well that because I've gained, that maybe it is my body rather than me what I'm eating, because I always thought, oh, I gain every time because maybe I'm just not sticking to plan properly, I'm not being rigid enough. Whereas this week I have been quite rigid, apart from today, and it turned out that it made no difference. So I'm going to keep on those weeks where I know that I gain and stay the same. I'm not going to go off plan. I'm just going to keep, you know, seeing if there's ways to get over it, even if it's like, you know, I stay the same for 2 weeks, or you know, I only gain half a pound. That's better than gaining a whole load. So I'm kind of rambling now, aren't I? But I just thought I would just, you know, talk to you about it, and you know, and like, if I lose, there's no reason to go and treat myself either. I know Debbie on Slimming World, I don't know if any of you follow her, but you should go and follow her. She's amazing. She's done so well. But like everyone always says to her when she has a great week, it's because she always sticks to plan, and she just never, she might have the odd off-plan meals, but the majority of the time she sticks to plan, and she never rewards herself afterwards with food, because at the end of the day, probably that's how we've all got into this situation, because we couldn't say no and we ended up rewarding ourselves. Well, kind of, that was me. I think that's part of another reason, but you know, at the end of the day, you've just got to keep chipping away at it and just keep going. You know, whatever the result is, you know, just keep going, because the ultimate goal is to be at your target weight, or to lose more weight. So yeah, so go and follow her. I will put the link down in the description box for her. She's really, really lovely as well. So I've been following her for ages and ages now, and she's done amazing. But she has a lot of weight to lose, not so much now, but she did at the beginning, which if you go back maybe and look at some of her older videos, if you haven't watched them, but they're very, very good. And she shows some of her food diaries as well, so that's really good to see what the kind of things that she's eating. So yeah, so that's kind of it really. Not great, but it doesn't matter, you know, these things happen. One other thing, I bought the new Slimming World magazine, so I'm gonna have a little look through that. Actually, I saw a meal in here, which I was trying to read it in the car actually, but they've got a Thai green curry, which I think looked kind of good. I think it's 1 sin or something per portion, but I reckon that would be really, really good. So I might have a look at making that, possibly in my new halo, which is amazing. The halo, I'm using it all the time for everything I can think of. I just think I could cook it in the halo and just go off and leave it. So it really is worth the money, I think. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to leave it here because I want to get this uploaded, and obviously I've got my food diary to do as well, and dinner to have, and that's it really. So I would like to thank everyone for all your lovely comments that you've been leaving me this week and last week on my food diaries and food haul. It really, really does help, and I know I said this in my last video or a couple of videos before, but you know, without all of you like leaving me messages and stuff, you know, I probably wouldn't be trying to stick to plan at all. I just would have given up and probably would have even kept on doing the food diary videos. But you know, it helps me an awful lot to try and keep on track, even though the results haven't come this week, but that doesn't mean it won't happen next week. And you know, the encouragement is fantastic, and I really do like the comments. I love like waking up every morning, there's like comments on the phone, you know, all the notifications, and I sit there in the car replying to you all. So I really do love that. So thank you so much for everyone who's commented, and I will go now, I guess. So I'll see you all later. Bye.